My Tomorrow. That is a topic.
Yeah.
So basically, how long ago was it now? It was about a month ago now. That's crazy.
It was about a month ago.
It was about a month ago now. We had an event called the My Tomorrow event. Was it called the My Tomorrow event?
Yeah, My Tomorrow
Yeah,
launch,
so basically where PYF and
VRP.
VRP
Yes.
launched a movie premiere. So they had obviously their movie. And then we had performances, talks and things like that from people in Positive Youth Foundation and guests and things like that. Anyone who's basically associated with PYF and people who've made an impact on PYF and things like that. So we also went to that.
What is it?
I was going to say that we went to that. So we went. I hosted on the stage, basically like announcing people coming on and things like that. Tell them what you did.
I did something similar, to be fair. So there was 2 stages. There was one in the auditorium where you did it for the movie and stuff like that. And I did announcements for just call-ups, to be fair. So letting people know where to go, where to sign up, where to put their things and stuff like that. But it was good, man, because I feel like if you told me to do that like months ago or even years ago, like I would never have the confidence to speak in front of 5 people, let alone a whole crowd. So like the fact that I got that opportunity is different, but it's a good different. Like it's building. What's the saying? Taking me outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it was for me. It was amazing. There was a movie written and directed by Torrin, which we will be getting on soon. And we'll obviously ask him questions about his thoughts on it. I think, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the movie was great. Like, everything was built well. There's a funny side to it, despite it being about what it is. I feel like the main target and aim for the audience was, don't think that what you're going through won't be better. There's always tomorrow and you'll always have a better day. Things will always get better. So I feel like that's what the main purpose of the movie was. And yeah, that's about it.
Are you not going to ask me what if I enjoyed it?
How did you enjoy that event?
Thank you for asking that question. I loved it. Honestly, like you said, I don't think I would have gotten the opportunity as well. This is what I mean by PYF giving you so many opportunities to do things, crazy 100%. Things. There was like 400 people there. The most I have like gone in front of is like 100 people.
Yeah.
Like I used to do like plays in school. I used to be in the choir in school as well.
Crazy.
It was called the Nasheed Choir because Islamic.
Come on.
So it was So I've only ever done things like that, and then basketball game as well. That I did with PYF at Sydney Stringer. That was, how many people was there? There was about 100 people there as well.
Up to 100.
Something like that. And then going from that to like 400 people in a massive auditorium, which was so like professionally done and everything. They had like boxes
like
coming.
Cinema,
it literally did. I remember when I went in, when they took me in, when Rash came and he was like, guys, this is where you're going to be. And I was like, I'm going to go home. Like, I don't get nervous when I do things like this, but that actually made me nervous. That's how I knew it was going to be something big for me. And then afterwards, when we finished and I came down, the amount of compliments and things I got, I was actually going to pass out. Like, I don't know how to handle compliments anyways. And I was so, like, proud of myself for it. It's actually one of like, my biggest achievements in life.
Yeah,
like, it used to be the fact that I climbed the mountain, but now it's going to be my tomorrow event. Anytime anyone asks me, because it's just so cool.
It was hard, man. Like, I wouldn't expect it to be easy, especially like having that many eyes on you and stuff. So you did well, man.
I think it helped to have people that I know there.
Yeah, 100%.
And hosting with my friends as well. Like Tamsir, Lauren, everyone. People were there. So it was good.
But essentially, the My Tomorrow campaign is all about changing the perspective that society has about young people, for one. Kind of challenging society to make sure that they understand that young people are adventurous. They want to do loads of different things in their lives, and they're not all, like, quote unquote, lazy or part of, I don't know, the streets or gang life, etc., etc. And then secondly, it's to challenge adults or society again to create opportunities for young people to grow and succeed. So those are the two kind of main aims of the My Tomorrow campaign. And the slogan was create it, shape it, embrace it, to kind of hone in on those two main objectives. So that's essentially what the whole campaign is about. And then obviously the film itself feeds off those two objectives.
What was your favorite scene from the movie?
My favorite scene? Might need some time to think. What was yours?
I have two. So there's a person called James. He made an incredible...
The person speaking behind the mic is James, by the way.
Guys,
he made an incredible feature. I think it got... Was it 2 or 3 seconds?
I think it was 1.5 on there.
Okay.
It might be a stretch.
Nah, you guys are with it. You know what? My acting debut, man. Stay tuned.
Come on.
When you see me next to Leonardo DiCaprio and them people there, you know, you just
crazy.
know that this is where it started.
Don't forget us when you're famous, innit? That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh, never.
But now,
I'm a host you. Would
Yeah.
you do it?
jokes aside, I feel like one of my favorite scenes, it was very unserious. I don't want to spoil the whole movie, but there was a quote unquote drug deal set up.
Oh yeah,
and,
that's probably my favorite scenes. That was
there was
so
a quote
funny.
unquote drug deal set up, and when it came to exchanging the money, the person gave a
wasn't drugs.
Lucozade.
You weren't supposed to say what it was. You spoiled it.
The person gave something that was very
Yeah, too late now.
very
Cut that
unserious.
part out.
Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite scene, to be fair.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, one thing, I'll ask you this after, but one thing that I enjoyed the most about the event, it was so cute, but there was a kid that that acted in the movie as well, and he was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I think it was Lana, if I'm correct, saying to bring him out. He just stood up and the applaud and like the applaud, is that the word?
Yeah, applause.
Yeah, the applause that he got was crazy. Like, and I'm not sure the whole story behind it, but it was something to do with this kid had went to his dad like either a week before, like 2 weeks before, saying, "Dad, I really want to do acting. I want to be in the movie. I want to be in a screen." The following week, his dad got a call saying, "We got opportunity for you. Do you want to do it?" Next thing you know, he's made a big part of this film, and you could tell like he went on stage as well. It proper made like a impact on his life. Like I don't think he'll ever, I don't know how old he is exactly, but I don't think in his whole lifetime he'll ever forget that applause that he got.
Yeah.
Because it was crazy. Like imagine 400 people clapping for you. You don't even know. It's just mad.
Yeah, you
So
wouldn't know. I know how it feels for them to clap for me.
But yeah, what would you say your favorite part of the event was, I guess?
I don't know. I think all of it as a whole, genuinely, I couldn't pick a favorite part. It was all really interesting. I loved hearing everyone's stories. You know, when like Caitlin and everyone went up with, was it the creative?
It was
Great.
a dream.
There was a creative panel,
Yeah,
there was
the
a creative
creative
panel, and then
panel.
there was a young people panel,
The young people panel, the creative panel, whichever one it was. There was a bunch of young people talking about their own experiences. That was really, really interesting to hear. And I feel like it made the audience connect with My Tomorrow as the campaign more, because they were like, there's people like us in there and they know how it feels. They've been through the same things as you. So it just like really resonates with you as a person. If you are interested in watching the movie and learning more about what My Tomorrow is, you can find the link to the movie in the bio, in the description. Just somewhere down below,
Down below
somewhere there, it will be there, and you can find it. And we hope that it makes a difference to you guys as much as it has on us. I don't want to say too much. I'm going to let him introduce himself. But we have here what are you, the director?
Movie director.
Producer and writer.
Producer of the My Tomorrow film that we have just been telling you guys about. So he is here to tell you a little bit more and to probably help you out and tell you more than we did, hopefully.
Sweet, man. I feel like I haven't done like a interview in a while. So
It's not an interview.
Sure, man.
yeah, so my name is Torrin Joshua. I have been doing like videography for like probably like 5 years. And over time, I started to like dive into different things, a bit of like producing and all of these different things. So that's kind of how I ended up on the My Tomorrow film as a producer. Yeah, that's kind of my journey. I just like really, I'm on the pursuit of basically trying to make impact through storytelling. That's kind of my main passion, seeing how we can like connect stories together and like actually make a difference through them. So this project was just like the perfect way to do that, really.
Is this the first project that you have done so far?
Like ever, or like this?
As in like
event.
big screen?
It's my first film, that I've like actually written myself. Like obviously I've done my own little draft scripts and stuff, but it's the first one that's been like premiered in front of people. So that was a crazy experience. Yeah.
Linking to what you just said now about you want to go down the storytelling route. Me personally, I love Rapman. Is there any specific like role models you look up to, or is there a thing where you just go with your own flow?
That's good. Yeah, to be fair, I'm excited to see his new project. Super.
Wait, guys, I don't know who that is.
Rapman.
No, I don't know who it is.
He wrote Blue Story, Shira's Story.
Yeah, I don't know what any of those are.
So good.
You just get tapped
Give me
in,
a
man.
watch list, guys.
Yeah. In terms of like inspiration, I'd probably say somebody that does inspire me is Tyler Perry. I think more so just in this, like just his story and how he got to where he got to. So he started off like writing like theater plays, and now he's got one of the biggest studios in America where he just gets to tell black stories, which is really, really like dope to see. But yeah, I don't really look at too many people like that. If, to be fair, there's like a lot of like Instagram people that create content, which I really like the way that they have been able to tell their narrative through a unique way and still feel different, especially with everyone doing content creation online. I think those are kind of the people that really inspire me, the people that are able to like tell their story in a unique way that looks really cool. But yeah, in terms of like people, I'd say like obviously Tyler Perry. I actually do like Logan Paul more so just knowing like he's somebody that was able to build from nothing and just like make space. I feel like he was the start of like the next gen of what creativity looks 100%. Like online. And yeah, those are probably like the two that are off the top of my head anyway.
What motivated you to make the movie, and what like inspired you to make it in the way that you did? Yeah,
it's funny because it was a really tough project. At first I thought, oh yeah, cool, I can like write a story, do you know what I mean? But it was tough because it originally started off as a documentary. Like that was actually going to be the way that the project was going to go.
On this podcast.
Yeah, but after a while I just thought, you know what, like we see those typical stories, like, you know, you'll go to Birmingham, you'll go to Coventry, you'll be like, what's it like growing up? And then it's kind of like it's too nuanced, it's too specific to that person's one like reality. But with it being like a regional campaign in so many different areas, it's like, how do we make it a universal experience that like, at least whether you're an adult or a young person, you can see like a glimpse of your own like narrative in that. So that's why I thought the best way to approach it was to have like a fictional story. And I think when I was doing it, this project had so much research that I had to do in it, because again, I don't come from the public sector and like understanding like all the stuff that goes on. All I can say in my experience is I was young and still am young. So I just thought about when I was in school, like what were some of the main things that really like impacted me? And like, the first thing that came to my head is I remember when my friends were selling like Lucozades and sweets, but instead of like getting help, they got in trouble. And I think that's kind of where it stemmed. It's like, okay, what can we explore in here that really starts to touch on the experience of young people? And again, there was stuff like the youth assembly, getting to hear like everybody's perspectives in there, the things that they cared about. So yeah, I think my main focus was all the different perspectives, but then kind of encapsulating it around this idea of like dreaming, and wanting to chase a dream, because whether you're young or you're old, you kind of know that. And obviously if you've seen the film, you know that it was like a therapy scene. And it's funny because again, at first that was supposed to be, it wasn't even supposed to be a therapy scene. It was supposed to be like Ash would have got arrested and he was in an interrogation room. But then it was that thing of, I don't really want to position the young person as if they've done something wrong. I want it to be a thing where, again, when everybody in the youth assembly was talking about mental health, it was like, let's position it there and allow people to empathize a little bit more. So there's so many mini decisions that changed over the whole process that kind of allowed it to form into what it is today.
Question, when creating the movie and like shooting the scenes, what was the hardest scene to film?
Oh, I'd say it's two. I'd say the first one, hands down, was the bus stop. No, not the bus stop scene. The when he's doing the Lucozade scene, because we were outside for probably about 2 hours in like torrential rain.
Yeah, they mentioned that when they came on stage.
I can't even explain to you how bad it actually was.
What did you guys do when it came to like mics, cameras, and stuff like that?
So that here's another like, I guess, exclusive. AI saved this film.
Really? You couldn't tell? That's what I didn't know that.
AI saved this film. Like if you heard the first draft of what the audio sounded like, because the mics got damaged basically, so literally you couldn't hear anything. But then literally probably a month or two before, obviously it needed to be premiered, I was able to like put all the audio through AI, and then it literally came out so clear. So it basically did damage the mic and stuff like that. And then we had like Jaden, who was the DP. We had him under an umbrella while we were trying to shoot the scenes. And I just felt so bad because, again, a lot of the people were there because I had like asked them to be there and shoot. And then they were just like stood there, just like getting drenched. So that was definitely the hardest one. And I think the other hardest one was like the actual panic attack scene. So when Payam, who was the actor playing Ash, that was a hard scene because that was on the first day of shooting, and like we only kind of just got to know each other.
Yeah.
But he had to now go and do this super emotional like thing, and he hasn't even experienced a panic attack before. So there was a guy on set called Luke who was doing the BTS, and he was also like the helping out with the camera. He's been through one, and myself included, we were able to like kind of guide him on like, this is kind of what it feels like or what he may experience. And he did an amazing job considering he's never...
I was going to say that scene was crazy. Like, as someone who, like, personally, I think with it a lot.
Yeah.
I thought that was an amazing scene. Like, when I watched it, I was like, damn, I know exactly how he feels and things like that.
Nah,
so I think, you know what, hats off to you for that scene, personally.
I remember you, I don't know if it was you that mentioned, but a lot of that scene was improvisation, right? As in the two of the actors, they were going back and forth.
Yeah. So the bus stop, just before the panic attack scene in the bus stop, that was literally all like improvised. And I think on the script it just says Sammy and Ty go back and forth. That was literally it. And they literally were just going in. And I think one thing that really like shocked me again is, obviously I wrote the script and I had an idea of these characters, but they took it in ways that I didn't even understand. Like even Sammy, again, she was kind of like just like a character that was just like, oh, we need to like bulk up the scene a little bit. But then even when I was speaking to Izzy about how she felt about the character, she's like, oh, I feel like Sammy feels like she's just never been included in like the plans because it's always Ty and Ash and she feels on the side. So there was a point where she was improvising and she just said, oh, I just want to be included, man. And like everybody behind camera was just like, it just hit us like, ooh.
Do you think they were gonna actually scrap at some point? Or?
It was intense. It was intense. I think the funniest thing as well is like I had my little brother come on board to help because he wants to get into media, and we were just on the public road, and it's so funny because at one point we looked and he's just telling people to walk on the road to get around the bus stop. At one point we had to stop and just be like, we don't have a permit to be here, you know. So there's a lot of these different moments where I think that was just crazy, the fact that they were just able to do that. And I think it was just their relationship that they were able to build off camera within a day, where they were able to kind of just like bounce off each other. So it was really sick to see.
What was your personal favorite part about the movie? So like we were mentioning before, I think both of us agreed that the Lucasade scene for us, like it was one of the funniest ones, because obviously we all saw it coming, but no, we didn't see it coming. We all had the mindset of it's a
drug
setup, but when you did that, I think everyone just
we all started laughing the entire auditorium.
Yeah, I was actually so shocked about that, like, because again, I've not seen anybody. I wasn't in the room when anybody else had watched it. That was the first time I got to see people watching it. So when everyone laughed, I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, but we did intentionally. We did intentionally want it to be a thing where we want almost, again, everybody knows why we were there. We're trying to help like people in the community, so we kind of knew people would have this conception like, oh, we see people doing drug deals, we see all of these different things. So then when that Lucasade hits, we want them to almost feel guilty for having that stereotype, 100%. Especially because Ty was the one that was kind of leading. It's like, oh, here we go again. And it's like, ooh, my bad. So maybe I need to look at myself. But I think for me, my favorite part was the dream sequence. So this is when just like the beginning and the end. So when it's young Ash and his father, just because for me that moment was just so special because the young actor Aaron, he was crying 2 weeks ago to his dad saying like, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. And literally we only got him on set like 2 days before we were shooting, and to see how confident he was. He turned up, he was just like, yeah, ready to go. So I think for me, it's like knowing that he was able to watch himself on screen for his first time. I think that was what made the movie like so special to me.
Yeah, the applaud he got, like we were mentioning before, was crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I want you to know that he's never gonna forget that. Like, that's a big part of his life. What does My Tomorrow mean to you?
That's good, you know. I'm surprised I haven't even thought about this yet. I think for me, what it means is, I guess for me, what this whole campaign is a kind of a mirror. And it's allowing everybody, whether you're young or old, to actually look in the mirror and be like, where do I see my future going, and what do I need to allow me to get there? Whether you're in a place right now where your future looks bad or whatnot, it's like this is a moment where you have a mirror that stands in your present time for you to make a decision. Where do I need to go to make a difference? And I think seeing how, again, like there's the decision makers, I think it's important for them to also kind of realize that they play a huge part in that. It's not just about young people thinking, oh, I can do it. It's about knowing that these decision makers need to think about how they can facilitate these things. And that's again, if people are doing things like selling stuff on school, instead of putting them down, why don't we create like a program where there's like an entrepreneurship course or something like that? I think that's where we actually allow people's tomorrow to change, when there's opportunity there. And I think that's kind of what it means to me. How can we create more opportunities to allow people's futures to take a different turn that they just never expected?
That's cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on today. We appreciate it. And again, we both applaud you to how amazing you did on creating the film and stuff like that. Sorry, one more question. Is there any future projects that you're looking forward to do, or any exclusives that maybe we can get?
I mean, currently I'm kind of open. Like, I know what my mission is, and again, it's like to make impact through storytelling. I can tell you what my dream is, more so than like a project. I think one thing that really inspires me, I was in my mum's, like my bedroom when I moved back home, and there was like a picture of like New York and Paris on the wall, and it was like the Empire State Building and then the Eiffel Tower. And I was looking at it and I was just like, when you really think about it, these things are just logos. And it's like, it's really recognizing that countries in and of itself are kind of like the same as businesses. You have people that are running it, you have all these different things. And then I thought back to things that we know, like the American dream. And I thought that's really just like a really big marketing campaign that inspired people to move to America and like invest in the land. And I think I would love to be able to create something on that scale that's like a narrative that helps people see like the diaspora in that way as well, especially coming from a place of being Black British. You don't really feel like you're from, I was born in the UK, so I don't really feel like I'm from the Caribbean. I don't really feel like I'm here. But how can I look at my land and see it like, this is a place that I want to go to? And I think being able to inspire people with that narrative, I think that would be the end goal for me. So whatever it takes to kind of get me to get there would be sick, to be fair.
That's cool. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, wish you all the best, honestly.
Thank you. You guys
Hope
too,
to be
man.
hosting you again in the future. Shout me.
Of course.
I think that's a wrap for the podcast.
Yeah, guys.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment, tell us what you guys want us to talk about.
Tell us what you thought about this first episode as well.
Yeah.
That's it. Yay!